welcome to Aviation Careers Podcast. Is the current environment a pilot shortage, or is this simply a hiring spree in 2025? What's really the truth? Well, we're going to get into that in this podcast. And one of the cool things is it's nice to report on things that are happening that are positive. And one of the positives is the fact that we are hiring again. This is August of 2025. I know we normally don't do newsy types of podcasts, but what I'm going to talk about is going to actually help you with your career years from now and help you understand the markets and the cycles. First of all, this question came in from someone in our coaching mentorship. If you want to check that out, you can, aviationcareerspodcast.com/coaching. There's different cycles of hiring and furloughing sometimes in the aviation industry. There's ups and downs. There's even within the year, there's ups and downs. And one of the things we have to understand is that there's positive environments for hiring and there's negative environments for hiring. There's also sometimes a hiring spree, but then there can be an overall shortage of pilots in the industry. And we're going to kind of dive into all those types of things. So will there be another pilot shortage? Yes, there will. Do I feel this is a pilot shortage right now? No. I think this is just another hiring spree that we have. It's a cycle. And we talk about shortages and things like that. We are going to have a shortage coming up in the future with all the retirements and that type of thing. But some of the symptoms, let's look at some of the symptoms of what an actual shortage is, as opposed to this hiring spree that's happening right now in 2025. Some of the symptoms that you'll see are things like street captains. In other words, everything is based on seniority. You always come in at the bottom of the list, seniority-wise, and you work as a first officer and work your way up to captain. Well, if you see street captains being hired with forced upgrades, that's important, with both street captains and forced upgrades, then yeah, we're running into a shortage. That's just one of the symptoms. There's many others. But just understand this, that some airlines, and I know I'm going to get this comment, have actually street captains, but they don't force upgrades. That's more of a management and possibly a union contract where they discuss, hey, listen, we don't want to force people to upgrade. We want these people to actually be able to stay where they are and have a great quality of life. We're willing to have these people get hired and move right into a captain slot. So you usually have to have both the street captains and also right there having the difficulty of hiring street captains, and also the fact that we are forcing upgrades. So usually that's kind of a symptom there. It can just be a street captain, by the way, and that's it. All depends on how the management works this out. But that's a first sign right there. But also, one of the things we have to look at is what's happening here. So this is not so much a shortage, and you could say it's a little bit of a shortage now, but in general, when we say pilot shortage, we mean there's a lack of qualified pilots. A lack of qualified pilots is a pilot shortage. Right now, we're not seeing that in the industry. We are seeing in a few places the captains, but in general, no, and it's catching up in the next few months. I think that's going to be gone for a while, and then it'll come back again, right? So I am really feeling good after the last quarter, and I was going to make this podcast just about the quarterly update, but remember why I'm feeling good. Number one, even though there's hiring that's happening, we're hearing the majors are hiring, the regionals are hiring, that type of thing. The qualifications are a little bit higher right now, which means there you go, that we don't really, this is more of a hiring spree than it is, and actually, a lack of qualified pilots, which is a pilot shortage. But I'm really feeling good after this quarter two updates. And the quarter two updates, what I'm talking about is their earnings reports. And I listened to all the different earnings reports on the manufacturing side and also on the airline side. But one of the things, a couple things I'll boil down. Number one, the reason there's hiring and things are doing well is that airlines are starting to concentrate on their core strengths, period. And they're removing unprofitable hiring. And this is on an industry basis. And I understand that some airlines are actually furloughing right now, but there's other airlines that are hiring right now. In aggregate, we're looking at a hiring cycle right now. Another thing airlines are doing, they're adding profitable routes, getting rid of the unprofitable, adding profitable routes. That is awesome. Another thing we're getting away from too is market share. If you keep doing the same thing over and over and keep losing money, you're going to continue to lose more money, right? So instead of market share, we're looking at profitable market share at the airlines. And the other big part of this story too, I think is really cool, is the fact that some of the low-cost airlines are starting to change to some of those premium products and the premium seats and like first class and experiences during your actual flight are things that are driving a lot of this revenue in the last quarter and also in the quarters coming up. Really good positive growth there. I know domestic is a little slow right now, but I just wanted to say that, what's going on right now? Is this a pilot shortage, or are we just in a hiring spree? In my opinion, we are in a hiring spree right now because we have a lot of qualified pilots out there. A great example is, we're finding people at the regionals that have 1,500 hours and that are eligible to get their ATP when they run in the door. So that's something that we need to look at, is the fact that, before, when we were hiring people, after they got their instrument rating, airlines would hire them to give them a conditional hire, that type of thing. We're seeing that as a part of the equation that's gone right now. Will it come back? Sure it will. It definitely will. So what do we do now? Now that the airlines are hiring, how do we make ourselves more competitive? Well, the first thing you want to do is start updating your resume, fix your LinkedIn profile, make a LinkedIn profile, and that type of thing. Get with a career coach like we do at aviationcareerspodcast.com and the coaching. We have one-on-one. We also have this group mentorship program. Actually, one of our next episodes on the group coaching, one of our next coaching client or get-togethers is actually going to be a LinkedIn, how to do your LinkedIn profile. But that is the most important thing to realize about this. What's going on with this industry right now? And I've given you a big overview as to what's happening in the industry. If you wanted to, I could delve deep into each of the different earning reports and get a little more granular. But just remember this, that in general, and I know there's going to be people that are losers in this and there's going to be winners, but in general, as an aggregate, the actual airline industry is doing a lot better right now. But is this a shortage right now? No. Is it a hiring spree? It sure is. I mean, we're seeing a lot more hiring happening right now. And if you need help with that, we can do it. aviationcareerspodcast.com/coaching. Also listen to this podcast. Listen to a lot of other podcasts out there. We want inspiration. There's a whole bunch of people out there that can help you, but we're going to try to help you too. And one of the things I want you to do is this. Now that we're seeing hiring again, really pay attention. What you can do to position yourself is pay attention to all the airlines that you want to work for, because announcements come out that they're hiring, and they may only be for a short amount of time. Strike while the iron's hot. Get your resume together, LinkedIn profile, but make sure you do this for me. Each and every day, think about something you can do to move forward in your career and your life. I know that the qualifications have shifted somewhat. At the majors, you're hearing people getting hired with 6,000 hours, even 10,000 hours, but those qualifications will come back down again. Do I see a shortage in the future? I do. I think we're going to have a shortage coming up in the future. Will it be as bad as it was before? Who knows? It all depends. Depends on how many people we do get trained to have the qualifications to become an airline pilot in the future. If you want to learn more about that, how to become an airline pilot, check out our website, aviationcareerspodcast.com. But most importantly, I want you to do this for me. I want you to take one step every day to move forward in your career and in your life. And you know what? You're going to get there sooner than you think. Well, safe flying. We'll talk to you in the next episode.